Let's go to the west coast of the South Island, and a new passenger rail service between Hokitika and Westport is on a short list of plans to revitalise the west coast economy. It's part of a $625,000 investment plan announced today by the government aimed at kick-starting rail, ports and towns. The Minister for Rural Economies and the West Coast, Tasman MP Damien O'Connor, says it's the first stage of a comprehensive program for assessment and support for the coast. Two of our excellent South Island reporters, Tracy Neal and Dan Govt, asked people on the coast if it will help or whether it's more pie in the sky.
The new rail service would complement the existing Transalpine service and include a new station in Hokitika and carriage maintenance facility in Greymouth. It's among a list of economic development ideas to be looked into with help from the Provincial Growth Fund. Development West Coast Chief Executive Chris McKenzie is keen.
I think it is part of a tourism strategy that Kiwi Rail, working with Air New Zealand and possibly bus lines, could make a very viable option for putting tourists up into the northern part of the west coast.
But getting it on track will take a lot of work, Mr McKenzie says.
The feasibility study needs to be reasonably thorough to thrash out, because the last thing you want to do is set up a business that in the end turns out not to be sustainable.
Damien O'Connor joined the Regional Economic Development Minister Shane Jones and Under Secretary Fletcher Tabuteau on the coast for today's announcement. It follows the previous government's announcement a year ago it planned to pump millions of dollars into the west coast in an effort to move its economy away from coal mining. Mr O'Connor said the plan had no vision and excluded many major industries including dairy and engineering. He says building on what the coast already has is the best way forward.
Building off the back of tourism success, the back of dairy, we've still got a good timber industry and fishing. So there's huge potential here, but hanging around waiting for the big project is, in my view, not the best use of our time or resources.
Mr O'Connor says the focus will also be on investigating the importance of the ports in Greymouth and Westport. Grey District ratepayers subsidise the Port of Greymouth because user fees don't cover all of its operating costs. The Buller District Council has retrenched dredging services that keep the port open to all but a busy fishing fleet. Mr O'Connor says Greymouth and Westport ports do have a future in New Zealand's coastal shipping growth.
Greymouth is a very important fishing port. Both Greymouth and Westport are, on the back door of significant hoki fisheries and some tuna in the seasons.
RNZ reported last year that almost 10,000 people have been pushed out of the region over the past 3 decades through economic decline. Today, about 33,000 people live in the area that stretches the same distance as Wellington to Auckland. Buller District Mayor Gary Howard, who's no stranger to ideas that come and go, reckons a new rail service is a splendid idea for boosting the region's prospects.
Absolutely exciting, linking tourism throughout the coast, and particularly being able to come up through Reefton and down the Buller Gorge, which is one of New Zealand's icons that very rarely is seen, and the train will just give a spectacular viewpoint to our Buller Gorge.
But those at the coalface aren't so sure. Mickey Ryan runs a tourism business, but at the moment he's working on the Otera Tunnel because tourism fades to near nothing in winter. He says it's a nice idea but would cost millions of dollars.
Because I looked into the rail here a few years ago, and the line is graded 2 or something. Basically, it's going to need a huge amount of work to allow passengers on it.
Fletcher Tabuteau says if feasible, the new passenger rail service would support West Coast tourism to reach its goal of 1.1 million visitors by 2021. For Checkpoint, Tracy Neal.